Now that's the kind of wildlife I like to see. Hi, I'm Jamie Jackson. Welcome to Wildshots, Oldies and Goodies. Please stay tuned following this program for more information on our videotapes and apparel. I'll also explain how you can support our efforts to collect more historical film and video footage.
One-stop shopping for all your Chevy needs. That's Ohio Valley Street Parts. In fact, we've been serving Chevy enthusiasts since 1987. We are a dealer for all the major manufacturers of quality reproduction parts. We stock 1937 through 1939 Chevrolet parts, and we also feature 1955 through 1957 Impala, Nova, Chevelle, Camaro, street rods, and truck parts. We stock weather stripping and other rubber items, sheet metal, air conditioning systems, carpet, upholstery, headliners, and other interior items, chrome, emblems, moldings, wiring, and electrical parts, pre-bent stainless steel brake and fuel lines, and much, much more. Remember, for your one-stop Chevy shopping, it's Ohio Valley Street Parts. We are car people serving car people. Please call 513-353-3113. Good Guys, the people who bring you the best in rod and custom events, muscle car, Volkswagen and nostalgia car events, and races, are pleased to be the sponsors of this Jackson Brothers video. We've seen our share of wild rides over the years at our events, and we know you'll enjoy this Wildshots video. At most of our rod and custom events, you'll probably find one evening dedicated to nostalgia drag racing, the way it was back in the 50s and 60s. Wild roasters, bad rad blown coupes and sedans, front motor, ground pounding, nitro snorting, top fuel dragsters. When we go muscle car racing, it's anything goes, from bone stock street cars to 200-mile-per-hour blown shoeboxes. There's always plenty of excitement at Good Guys events. Whether it's driving your rod or custom to one of our events or taking your car down the quarter mile, you'll have more fun per cubic inch at a Good Guys event. Looking for good times? Call Good Guys at 415-838-9876. You can't do better than Good Guys. And that's the way it was in 1964. The noise, the nitro, and the speed of top fuel drag racing brought the Jackson Brothers and their cameras to the drags every chance they got. They had to capture the color and excitement on film. Anything that ran hard, made noise, lifted the wheels, or smoked the tires was good picture-taking stuff to Jamie and Sonny. Odd or unusual-looking cars were must-shoot items. Then came the funny cars with all their smoke and fury. Match races and east-west rivalries brought more people to the drags than was ever imagined. Along with that, the exhibition cars, and especially the Wheelstanders, put the icing on the cake. Out of all this emerged some of the most famous and legendary racers and cars that ever existed. These racers and cars began to develop certain traits and personalities. Maybe it was just their names, or maybe it was just the way the car handled that made them a unique attraction. But if the fans liked you, you are destined to be famous and legendary in the drag racing archives. Each category of drag racing had a special driver or car that was very exciting for a fan to witness as it passed down the quarter mile. Some of these runs were straight and fast, some were smoky and squirrely, and some were outright disastrous. You're about to see the way we remembered it. You might be from the good old days, or you might be on today's high-tech side of the sport, but one thing's for certain. Sooner or later, drag racing will take you to the wild side. In the early 60s, innovation and experimental concepts like TV Tommy Ivo's twin-engine Buick Dragster and Speedsport modified Roadster were prime examples of American racing ingenuity. There were rear-engine cars with sideways mounted motors. They called themselves sidewinders. And there were front-engine dragsters with sideways mounted superchargers. Topped and channeled coupes like those that ran at Bonneville Salt Flats were a common sight at drag strips in the mid-50s and early 60s. Almost any make and model was subject to the fate of becoming a drag strip monster. Speaking of monsters, some of the dry lakes technology was incorporated into drag racing, like the Challenger Salt Flat cars designed and raced by the legendary Mickey Thompson. Mickey Thompson promoted many aspects of the sport of auto racing, including building this twin-engine Pontiac-powered four-wheel drive dragster. He raced and sponsored many world record-holding cars in almost every facet of racing. He will long be remembered as a great pioneer and innovator. This car is an example of when innovation went too far. They call these cars oddballs. Rear-engine and front-engine dragsters often competed to see which car was engineered to go faster. Here is a rare dinosaur of the early 60s, the Coburn and Glaze Special. The driver was enclosed in a Messerschmitt car body. It ran 2 blown Chrysler engines and 4 offset slicks. It was said these cars were so heavy they couldn't get out of their own smoke. Now here's an outrageous concept. Ray Alley's Engine Masters P51, a radically chopped 34 Ford sedan running an Allison airplane engine. One of the most aerodynamically designed dragsters ever made was Jocko's Streamliner. It was called the Invader. It was also powered by an Allison engine and was driven by Emery Cook. The Allison dragsters were too heavy and too slow off the line, but they made for a great exhibition. The three-wheel dragster of Ken Ellis did not have any weight problems, except for the fact that it was too light on the front end. The car would go into a wheel stand every time he accelerated, thus causing an aborted run. Note the unique ground effect spoiler on this dragster, filmed around 1964. Modern top fuel racers are strongly considering this type of design as a must-have traction aid and wind deflector. Many of the first rear-engine dragsters, like the Lucky Logger Special, were hard to handle due to the short wheelbase of the car and steering problems. This type of car disappeared for a while until Don Gartlett's redeveloped the rear or mid-engine car and made it successful in the early 70s. The mid-engine, long wheelbase design dominates top fuel drag racing in the 90s. Even more exotic engine designs were tested at the drag strips in the 60s, such as this turbine-powered Dodge Dart. Racing against this factory experimental car, or AFX, was one way to test the performance of a rocket-type hydrogen peroxide-powered motor. Unfortunately, the test proved unsuccessful. Here's a rare match race that will never be duplicated. Tom Proofer's top-fuel dragster against a turbine-powered go-kart. Proofer wheel stands out of the gate, but still has time to win the race. On a test run, this turbine go-kart exploded an engine, thus causing one hot ride for the driver. TV Tommy Ivo's 4-engine, 4-wheel drive Buick dragster was named the Showboat and was one of the finest exhibition dragsters that ever smoked the tires. Ivo toured this car around the country. Here at Lodi Drag Strip in 1965, the crowd went wild over his smoke-filled runs. He later went on to top fuel dragsters, funny cars, and jets. Ivo was especially known for his full-bodied, beautifully painted top fuel dragsters. He is one of the great drag racing personalities of the 60s and 70s. Ivo's Showboat dragster took on a drastic change. It became the Wagon Master Buick. Weckester's Galpin Ford 4-engine Mustang took on McCrory's Wagon Master in a one-time match at Fremont Drag Strip. When the smoke cleared, it was McCrory the winner. Although Weckesser blew a piston, the crowd still got what they came to see. The odd and unique cars of the 60s helped turn drag racing into one of the greatest spectator sports of all time.
Don't anybody jump the fence. Don't do anything. All right. He's moving in the car, so he's going to be just fine. Get out of it. We got all the proper people approaching him, and everything will be under control. So he's out of the car.
Man, there's a lot of people don't even need to go down there.
How's your chest? My chest is fine. The only problem I'm having a problem with right now is my leg between here and here.
Okay,
just so
probably on a sidebar.
On the impact.
On a sidebar, yeah.
No.
No, the reason I asked is the steering column, and I don't know whether it's from hitting the guardrail or whether you came up and hit it with your chest and moved it around there.
No. I didn't go anywhere.
Okay, okay, good.
The only thing I feel is here, and I'm sure that's from the impact. You know, just from here to here. That's the only place I'm having.
Well, that's a sidebar.
Just you understand why we are worried. We want to make sure you're all right. Yeah. Okay. Well, I appreciate it. Believe me, I do. Okay. Hold on a minute. Don't stop there. Pull it off. Sneak it something.
Oh, you
just run those super gas guys in that.
Yeah, just get all your super gases down here. We can pick that up.
I don't think he even hurt the car. I think when he came back around and the car looked like it was headed right into the guardrail, dead on.
So, there have been people down there working out the situation, checking everything out.
And a brand new car, huh? Brand new car, never been run yet.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, we were happy. It was running 11 O's.
Big block Chevrolet you see on the
Good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
shut off? Electronic shut off, George?
Something broke. Man, I'm real sorry about that.
I don't know what it was, but something came apart. Coming your way. Okay, here we go.
Coming over.
Might have been the axle. Hey, you're not tire locked up on you. I couldn't hold it. I did what it's supposed to, guys. Can't get through. Yeah. Who's got a vehicle so I can get home?
We all do. Put this on your elbow.
Hey, my blood pressure was fine, babe. 115 over something.
This fueler does what's commonly called a moonshot, but crashes to earth unharmed. After this race, Nicky Harrell decided it was not profitable to go into the wheel standing business. When you remove the front end of a Willys, you have to replace it with lead. Here comes the legendary Colonel, and he's certainly not pushing chicken. Chris Karamasimis gives it a valiant try, but still misses the starter, his opponent, and the photographer. Top fuel dragsters of the 60s were a photographer's dream, providing giant wheelies, bonsai launches, smoke-filled runs, and colorful cars that delighted the imagination. Here's one of the main reasons front-engine fuelers were replaced by the safer mid-engine cars. Here's the quickest way to turn your funny car into a AA fuel altered. Fire burnouts didn't make you go any faster, but they sure got your picture in the magazines. There are fire burnouts, and then there's Rich Guasco's funny car Burn Up. This car, on its maiden voyage, blew its engine. The driver got out okay. This experience was pure hell for Guasco, but he returned with a new funny car. In 1968, John Collins suffered a horrendous clutch explosion in his Chevy-powered Junior Fueler. The clutch housing blew, causing the engine to exit the chassis. The fallen clutch housing scraped the ground, causing a grass fire. The finish line safety crew pulled John from the flames, and he suffered only minor injuries. He returned to the sport and later drove funny cars. Thanks to the finish line crews and their quick responses, drag racers throughout the years owe their lives and gratitude to these very special people.
that's on them weed burners, won't burn off the Chevrolet 40 should run at 1266, 138. a 1035.
Well, what happened at Fremont? Well, we were just doing our first pass, and it let off on the gas, and when the car went by the end of the grandstands, the wind blew the front end around, and I couldn't get it back straight. The rest is in the tape. I feel fine. I feel fine. The car's not hurt that bad. We'll be back in a month or so. No problem.
Goes out the door. So, excuse me, if Mike Barker puts it away, it's 4200.
Everybody who's not with the racetrack or with this crew, I want gone.
Mindy! You're still eating the hamburgers. How you doing?
In 1964, the A factory experimental cars began to capture the fans' full attention with their hard-charging, big-block, noisy runs down the quarter mile. The big three automakers, Chrysler, Ford, and General Motors, were fighting for drag strip supremacy just like they are today. If you won on Sunday, you sold cars on Monday. The FXers were more or less super stockers until performance-minded racers began to alter the wheelbases for better traction and run injectors for more power. Tall injector stacks were the order of the day, but it wasn't yet known how well the fuel-air mixture worked. Tall stacks or short, the cars still performed well, especially on nitromethanol. Many of the AFXers started running fiberglass parts to lighten the cars. With the smell of nitro in the air and constant speed records being broken, spectator appeal grew in leaps and bounds, and so did the number and variety of cars. Dry hops and rosin burnouts were new crowd-pleasing innovations, and the AFXers started launching harder and running faster than ever. Famous racers of the Superstock days joined the AFX ranks. The West Coast crowd had their idols, and the East Coast fans worshiped their AFX heroes. That made for highly publicized East-West match races. Racers, drag strip promoters, as well as the fans, welcomed the AFXers with great excitement and enthusiasm. The deep interest in these cars by the fans and the determination of racers to go faster opened the doors for the supercharged nitro-burning funny cars. In just a short time, new legends and heroes would emerge, and of course, lovely Linda Vaughn, Miss Hurst, would lead the way.
Hayden Prophet,
That's me, Funny.
AFX.
That's what's left.
1967.
Well,
Yeah,
a
66.
lot of different ones.
1898.
You tell my buddies, huh?
Hey, you drove AFX, what, 62 Chevy?
62 and 63, then drove the AFX Plymouths and the Mercuries. Then we went into the funny cars, then about that year is when we went into the funny cars.
Right, around 64, 65.
65.
Yeah, you were out here at Fremont Drag Strip at one time, I think.
Yes, yeah, we used to lock horns with old Gas Honda and Don Nicholson.
Right, and Richard Schroeder, he's here running the show.
Yeah, 5x5. That's my old buddy, too. Yeah. In fact, about 4 weeks ago, they got me back there at the Indy and inducted me into the Hall of Fame, which made me feel, really, really honored.
Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
We're Jackson Brothers old fans of yours, too.
Yeah.
We've been taking films since 1964.
Yeah. I remember them, too.
I remember I was just a tiny boy.
Now listen to this. I want you to listen to this now.
Go ahead.
When Roger was a tiny little boy, he used to
He
come
was
up.
a real little boy, and I was up there hanging on that chain link fence at Long Beach, cheering Hayden Prophet on in a brand new, spanking new 39 Chevy funny car.
And he does BS some, too, huh?
Yeah. Well, yeah, Junior Thompson had a 39 Chevy sedan. He ran that 8 gas down there.
Well, we're going to get around and see what all kind of trouble we can get into. I'll see you later, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You bet. Bye-bye.
Good to see you.
The race car team of Farconis, Coyle, and Minnick toured one of the most famous funny cars in drag racing history, the Chi-Town Hustler. The car was powered by a supercharged nitro-burning Chrysler Hemi. Engine builder Austin Coyle and driver Pat Minnick made for a winning combination at East Coast tracks and was a dominant figure at match races around the country. The match race against Bill Lawton's Tosca Ford Mustang at Connecticut Dragway brought in fans from all over the country. It didn't matter who won or lost, just to see them race made you a winner. After the Barracuda, the Chi-Town team raced the Dodge Charger that brought them the most fame. When they came to California with the funny car circuit, everyone came to see their notorious long, smoky burnouts, including the Jackson brothers. Besides Jungle Jim, their car put on the most exciting shows in history and racers today equate a Chi-Town burnout to the longest, smokiest burnout a car can do. At a big funny car showdown at Sears Point Raceway around 1970, Chi-Town beat some of the West Coast heavies like Big John Masmania. But quite often they would burn up motors trying to stay on top of the heat. Those long burnouts took their toll on the engine. When the Chi-Town Hustler blew an engine while running against Gene Snow, it looked as though Pat Minnick was on another patented smoky burnout. Pat crawled out of the newly designed escape hatch of the car unhurt. It was just oil from the engine that caused all that smoke. Chi-Town went from track to track displaying great showmanship and yet stayed highly competitive as one of the greatest funny cars of the match race circuit. The fans of the first Fuel Funnies were always anxious to see what kind of wild and crazy machinery would appear and how it would cover the quarter mile. The first Fuel Funnies had strange and unique names. This was one of the neatest things about drag racing. You could call your car anything you wanted, and usually it pertained to the way the car looked or handled. Aerodynamics and body styles were as varied as their names. Some of these weird setups became crowd favorites. Gene Conway's Destroyer Jeep was one such car. He also won a lot of races. Colorful names like Dandy Dick Landy brought in huge crowds, like this one at Beeline Raceway, Arizona. One of the greatest showmen of funny car racing was Jungle Jim Lieberman. Arnie the Farmer Beswick carried the hopes of GTO fans everywhere. East Coast racers like Frank Federici excited the West Coast fans at Fremont. Seaton's Super Shaker Corvair is another example of match race funny cars of the 60s that we all remember.
One of the neatest AFX cars ever made, the Ford Thunderbolt 1093 12430.
to shut it off. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together for the champion speed shop, Mike McClennan, 1,320 foot of tire blazing action. In the area of exhibition, the Wheelstanders put on a show second to none. One of the first and most colorful favorites was Bill Maverick Golden's Little Red Wagon. The idea was to go the full quarter mile and then some on two wheels. Finally, a special braking system was developed that kept the wheelie cars fairly straight, and they could actually go a half mile on two wheels if the track was that long. Another one of the popular Dodge wagons was Chuck Poole's Chuck Wagon. Chuck ran two supercharged Chryslers at one time. He then switched to a Volkswagen truck with only one engine. but this didn't stop him from putting on a wild show. The Hurst Hemi Underglass Barracuda was known for its sky-high wheel stands and sometimes pulled all four wheels right off the track. It wheel-standed its way across the country and even made it to Half Moon Bay Drag Strip, California in the early 60s. Hurst not only provided a wheel-standing beast, but also entertained the fans with beauty. Meanwhile, at Connecticut Dragway, Wild Bill Shrewsbury's L.A. Dart was simply trying to do his wheelies on the track and not in the dirt. He finally got it together at Fremont Drag Strip and found a great place to advertise. Now this is a one-shot deal, folks. This crazy stunt by Wild Bill Shrewsbury made the fans go berserk, but was outlawed by the NHRA a short time thereafter, for obvious reasons.
Are you going to beat that 2,050 mark?
You bet I'm gonna. He's making it difficult, but I'm gonna try.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Good? Yeah.
Please support DRAW, the Drag Racing Association of Women. DRAW raises funds for all injured drag racers, regardless of class or sanction, providing recovering families with financial and emotional support. Men are encouraged to join as associate members. Send $15 for membership to Kim Crater, 908 Nelson Terrace, Bedford, Texas, 76022. New from Precision Illustration, the Drag Goodies Art Catalog. Our new 28-page catalog has 130 full-color and black and white art prints. If it was fast and bad, we've got it. There are drag racing Golden Oldie prints, Detroit muscle car prints, fast, ferocious Ford prints, and engineering-style race car blueprints. Each print measures 11-inch by 14-inch, and you can order your prints unsigned or signed by the artist. The engineering-style blueprints are 32-inch by 22-inch. Automotive art is the perfect year-round gift for your favorite motorhead. To order your copy of Drag Goodies Art Catalog, call toll-free 1-800-777-DRAG. MasterCard and Visa are gladly accepted. There's a 60-day money-back guarantee that you will not be disappointed. So call now.
We have collected nearly 100,000 feet of historical film dating back to 1955. Our recent footage amounts to hundreds of hours and goes back to 1985. We need your help to collect more footage, to research and create many new highlight and wild shot videos. Your membership to our organization will keep us working full-time at producing these special interest programs at a much faster pace and with high quality. With a united commitment, the Jackson Brothers will continue their efforts to cover every category of the sport. For history's sake and the enjoyment of drag racing fans everywhere, please support, contribute to, and promote the Jackson Brothers style of drag racing videos. Please call or write for more detailed information on our videotapes, apparel, and the Jackson Brothers Drag Racing Video Club. That's it. I'm out of here.
Now a preview of other movies available from Jackson Brother Videos. Here's the one that started it all. Bad Boy Altereds. Jackson Brothers look at pure nostalgia drag racing packed into a 60-minute video of early Altereds doing what they do best. Gasser Files 1 and 2. 2 hours of Willies, Anglias, and Austins from yesterday and today. Super Gas Attack. This is not for the faint of heart. This is for the hardcore fan of the sport. 3 hours of super gas cars racing down the quarter mile. Bad Boy Altereds 2, live action. This tape says it all about the bad boys of drag racing. The Shoebox Dream, the greatest drag racing movie ever made about the shoebox racers in their 7-second cars. Jackson Brother Videos is proud to offer the Burroughs Wildlife Video Series. Starting with awesome bucks, we take you to where monstrous mule deer hide, and we show you how and where to find them. Big Bucks Are Back takes a more in-depth look at the giant mule deer of the western United States, and we show you where to find these trophy animals. Awesome Giants is a video of 5 big game animals found in western North America, including the giant Rocky Mountain bull elk of Canada. There's also black bear, mule deer, pronghorn antelope, and the proud desert bighorn sheep. These movies from Jackson Brother Videos make great gifts. To order these videos, call 707-426-3532. Thank you for joining the Jackson Brothers with their Wildshots, Oldies, and Goodies. We look forward to seeing you again soon.